So this video, I want to go over a particular activity you could do with the students and PixelBox. I'm going to do a series of these. This one's going to cover, if I had to give it a title, it'd be doing their initials. I think students like to have things personalized, and so having them do their initials, would be one of the first activities I would do with them. Maybe I do the moving box first. But maybe I start with their initials so they get sort of used to using things that way. So I'm going to sort of start this from scratch. I have a lot of different ways to show this. I'm also going to introduce 3 different ways that they can design, and then we'll talk about the coding. So let me start off with the design part of this. I'll bring in my overhead here. Let's see if you can see that. Well, that didn't work too well. Let's go down here. And I'll bring in my overhead projector image and see if we can get this to work. Okay, so we're going to do the initials. I'm going to use GT because of Georgia Tech. I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you'll have available for the students to do their design work. Because after you take them through the basics, they're going to want to do some freelance stuff. And I think giving them tools to design with would be advantageous. So here I started off with what I call PixelBox sketch sheet. These will be located if you. I'm going to give you the link to Google Drive here, and so these will be located. It's a PowerPoint slide. If you click here, these are the Google design sheets, and you can print them off at your leisure. And there are 2 of them. You print them front to back. It gives the students 12 PixelBox sketches on the front and 12 on the back. So that's pretty, should allow them to do it. And when we've done this camp, we did it last week, and the students really used these sheets, and they use them with color pencils, which is what I'm going to use here. So those are the PixelBox design sheets that you'll have available for you to print out. If we get a chance, we'll include them in the resources that we provide, but if not, you'll have this file to print it out. Okay, so let's go back here to the overhead. Okay, so here's the overhead sheet. I know I chose yellow. I hope you can see this. It's showing up pretty good on my screen. I think you can see it. I chose yellow because I'm going to use GT for Georgia Tech, so I decided to use yellow here. Could have used any color, but I think the yellow will be fine. So all you do is this grid is the same as the 8x8 pixels they have on the PixelBox, and so they can just use it to color in their designs to get an idea where they want to place things. And so I've already done the G here. Let me go ahead and do a T here. Let's see, I'll do it down the middle and just do a fat T here, just so that you can see, get an example of how the students would use this. So there you go, there's a T. And so it's just one way to design. The kids can use there, and we will provide with the camp a box of pencils, colored pencils, so the students will have the ability to do this. So that's one way to do it, using the scratch sheet or the design sheet. Another way to design would be using these little design boards that we created. They are, let me show you one that is the pixel. We 3D printed these, and it once again has the 8x8 grid here. If you want to get into sort of coordinate systems, it has the x coordinates 0 through 7 here, and the y coordinates 0 through 7 here. And when you count, why do we start at 0 and not 1? Why doesn't 1 to 8? Because computers, for the most part, start counting at 0. So we wanted to let the students know that, and if you use the pixels and program the pixels using their exact pixel locations, they'll start count at 0. So this pixel up here in the upper left hand corner is coordinate 0, 0. And so that's why we have the 0 to 7 for the x and the y coordinates. But the good thing about this is we had some bloxels that we've done in the past, and so what we did was we made these squares the same color as these little blocks, and we have a lot of them. They come in these trays like this. So it's a whole bunch, and these are the colors we have. We don't have every color, so but we have enough for the kids. There are 8 colors, and we have enough so the students can represent what they want to do, and if they want to change colors when they use the PixelBox, they can. So you see here I already laid out the yellow G, which replicates what I did here. Oops. It replicates what I did here on my on my sheet. So I'll just do a little quick demonstration of doing the same thing here. And these fit in there relatively snug. They don't have to click in. The students don't have to push them down, but they do. They are in there nicely, so they don't slip off if the student moves this around. So go ahead and do this real quickly as I can. The only bad part about this is you have a whole bunch of little blocks floating around, the potential of them floating around on the floor and on the classroom, so you have to be sort of careful. May want to do paper plates and have them do this inside of paper plates so that if they fall, they don't fall on the floor or what have you, but that's a part of the classroom management piece. And the more we run these types of camps, the better we'll get at it. So let me finish up my tea just as a demonstration here. And then we'll move on. So when we designed these little boards, we thought it'd be good if the students, this is good for students who like to learn by doing and get motivated by tactile experiences. So this sort of hits them with a different angle here. All right, and then the last one goes in here. Right, so there we go. So there's the T. We got a G and a T, and we're also going to do these on the PixelBox. So that's the second way. So we have our paper, our design sheets, and we have these grids. The third way is an application, a HTML application that we put together just for the PixelBox. And so I'm going to show this here because there's a URL that you can go to access this application. And that URL is located linked to PixelBox Doodle. I call it PixelBox Doodle, and the link to that page is here. And so you would grab this link and then open up a new browser and then cut and paste it in. So here is the Pixel Doodle application that we coded up. To select a color, you just click on the color and then you click the box. All right, and so if I was making the G, I just start clicking on the box and putting my design in here. They can't click and hold and drag. They have to click on every box. Maybe we'll come back and modify the program so that you can just click and drag. But I think you get the idea here. It's just easy. It's a little bit easier. If they make a mistake, like let's say if I made a mistake and clicked in here, you see the white button here is erase. All it does is turn that pixel white, and so that's effectively erasing it. If you have access to all these colors here. If I want to change a color, I just click over. There is no undo though, so this is sort of like, once again, this is a sort of a crude application that we put together just so the students can have sort of a scratch area. So I'll do my G there. Let's say if I started off and I wanted to do my T, and I had all these different colors, and I want to clear this, I hit clear, and it clears out the whole thing. So now if a student has a design in there and they hit clear, it's going to erase the whole thing. They can't save this. I guess you could do a screen capture. But right as of now, they can't save it or anything. It's just a scratch area for them to sort of get their designs together, and it runs off of a web page, so it makes it easy to access for the students in the class. So if I'm putting my T together here, let's just do this, click through this, Okay, and so there we go. Another feature that we put in here is I can move this to the right, and maybe that's harder to see here. Let's go. Let me go and let me put a red box in here. Let me do blue. Put a blue box in here. So if I click the right arrow, it'll move the image to the right, and the left arrow moves it to the left. And you can see it will scroll around to the other side. So it scrolls back and forth, and then you can go up and down this way. Just this sort of works with the notion that they can move their pixels using some of in the PixelBox, they can move their pixels using some of the blocks that we created in the toolbox. So giving them the opportunity to sort of see their design and move it around and that kind of thing. Once again, it's not perfect. This is something we put together in a few hours, but it is it gives them the ability to design a little bit. So that's this notion. So there's three things. There is the sheet of paper that we have, the scratch paper, we have the grids, and we now have this application. You can use them any way you want to in your classroom to help the students get up and running. So that is the demonstration for this video, and then the next video we'll go ahead and code this.